wow, lots to talk about there. Is this measurement of these five vectors, is that done based purely on the observables, the conversation, the output of the LLM, or does it involve some kind of LLM equivalent of electroencephalogram where you are looking at signals inside?
Beautiful question. I like how you put that with the EEG. You know, because I was already when you started off to say, oh yes, it's just what's there. Then when you said that, picking up something like EEG, that's exactly what we do. So internally, when it has these tokens and it assigns probabilities to those tokens, let's say there's a multiple choice answer, right? What's the capital of India? This is one of the examples that we use. And there's New Delhi, there's Paris, and there's, let's say, Washington, D.C. And so it might have different levels of confidence that is associates with each of these options. If the confidence in one of these dimensions is super high, then the entropy is very low. And so what we're looking for is when it's confused, and that's when the entropy will be high. So if all the answers, it was like, it could be New Delhi, 33%, it could be Paris, 33%, and it could be Washington, D.C., 33%. That's a terrible LLM. But suppose it does that. In this case, the entropy is very high. This is equivalent to the EEG. We can then, if a model allows us, and open source models allow us to do it, some of these closed source ones don't, but open source models let us look at what these logits or these internal probabilities that were assigned were. And once we get those, we can calculate the entropy, and then we can make a conclusion of what it must be thinking. In fact, in some of our experiments, which build on what Ackerman did when he's trying to figure out whether an LLM exhibits metacognition, is in some of them, in these open source models that allow you to get the logits, he looks at the entropy and says, this must be an indicator of some underlying process that it's doing. What the mechanism of that process is, I don't know. So very equivalent. I love the EEG example, because in an EEG, there's so many electrical signals, and even in the magnetic version, right? When you get this the magnetic stimulation, that can be a little more targeted. But the EEG signal in the brain, discerning and deciphering which parts correspond to which neural substrates is a very tough problem. But it's indicative of something there. And similarly here.